an afternoon hearing for cause 25-003364. It is a pretrial matter, meaning I'm not here to decide the merits of the case. This is sort of an early intervention pleading. This is for Vladimir Yurkins versus Oilfield Lodging, LLC. Who is here on behalf of our plaintiff, Vladimir Yurkins?
Yes, I'm here.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here, sir. All right, and do I have someone here on behalf of Oilfield Lodging? Maybe we have many people, but who is the lead person who's going to be speaking on behalf of Oilfield Lodging?
My name is Bruce Garlick. I am majority owner and an attorney. I represent Oilfield Lodging.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Garlick. Thank you. All right. Real quick, I'll summarize for both parties the reason I'm here or the reason we're all here, and let's see where we go. All right, Mr. Yurkins, I understand your petition's pretty clean. So you are an owner-operator of a hotel establishment, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And excuse me, Your Honor, I have one more person here who is co-owner, and her name is Jalin Chen.
Good afternoon, Ms. Chen. Thank you for being here. All right, Mr. Yurkins, you're seeking a little over $16,000 for unpaid hotel fees. You say that someone made a reservation, the defendant made a reservation, and in violation, the policy says that if they cancel within 7 days, they have to pay for it no matter what. They canceled within 7 days, and then they charged back the money on their credit card. So as a result, you have lost the fees in violation of policy, correct?
They canceled within like a little bit more than 1 day.
Okay, so you're seeking the money for the fees, which is $16,000. And then, Mr. Garlick, your response is pretty simple. You say that the defendant has never had a contract and it does not have any standing with the plaintiff. And that's the reason for the motion to dismiss. Is that correct?
That is true. Well, we don't have an agreement with Vladimir. We did business with American Hospitality Washington, LLC. They were the plaintiff in the prior lawsuit that was dismissed for jurisdictional limits. And we have evidence or support if you want to take a look at it.
Mr. Garlick, when was that case filed and what was that cause number?
That cause number was J3 CB 25000348. Let me see if I can give you a date on that. February 3rd, 2025.
Mr. Garlick, was that case against Oilfield Lodging or someone else?
That was against Globio Inc. And Oilfield Lodging does business as Globio. And we notified plaintiff prior to our hearing that they sued the wrong defendant. We gave them information to do it. Eventually, after a hearing with you, they amended to correctly name Oilfield Lodging LLC, but they exceeded the jurisdictional limits of the court by repleading damages. And the case was subsequently dismissed.
Mr. Yurkins, were you here representing the plaintiff in that matter, J3 25348?
Yeah, it was both of us, me and Jalin Chen. So the case was, we were told that the name of the defender is not correct, and we were asked to correct it and file it again. That's what we did, and so that's why we're here today.
Well, see, those are two different things. So let's all be very clear. Mr. Garlick says that there are two completely different lawsuits that may involve the same people, but let's keep it by cause number. So Mr. Garlick, you said that the original case was J3CV 25348.
Correct.
And that styling is?
American Hospitality Washington, LLC versus Globio Inc.
Okay. And then after you notified them, they changed it to American versus Oilfield?
Correct. And they repled damages so that the court, to the point where the court dismissed it for exceeding jurisdictional limits. All
right. Mr. Yurkins, do you recall if you or Ms. Chen filed a lawsuit in the name of American versus Globio, cost 25348?
Yes, it was. That's the only case which we used to have, like before this one.
Right, so that one was originally filed by your company, American versus Globio, and then y'all changed it to be American versus Oilfield?
Yeah, as it was this, your honor, you was there present also, and that's what you told us to do, to file it again.
And 348 was dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. You said it was in excess.
Yes.
That,
And then,
we are not aware about this one. This is the first time I hear it. It was just dismissed because the defender's name was incorrect, and you told us to correct it to the oil field lodging.
wouldn't be dismissed for that reason. Let's pull it up, y'all. I'm not gonna take, let me just pull it up in the court's record. All right, American Hospitality LLC versus oilfieldlodging.com. Originally was filed in February 25. Answer, Mr. Garlick, you filed your answer shortly thereafter. Party's got a continuance, so plaintiff could amend. Exhibits came in, we got an amended petition from the defendant, and then we got an order of dismissal for lack of jurisdiction, and it was granted. Let's take a look at that. Mr. Yerkins, I can see that the original case you filed was dismissed for having damages in excess of $20,000. Have you filed any lawsuits in county or district court against the defendants, either Oilfield or Globio?
No. And we don't have any, the amount we filed for, it doesn't exceed the court limit. It's $16,000.
Why did you file this time in your name as Vladimir Yerkins and not in the American Hospitality name?
I'm not sure. Is there any difference?
Yes. There's a major difference because one is you as an individual and one is you as a company, you as an agent or owner or representative of the company. But there is a major distinction, right? Like if you were being sued as Mr. Yerkins as opposed to American Hospitality Washington, these are two different things, right? Because one of them is you personally and one of them is maybe you and Mrs. Chen and your business being involved if you're co-owners of American. So let me ask you this, Mr. Yerkins, was the contract by Oilfield Lodgings signed with you as a person, or was it signed with your hotel, American Hospitality Washington?
It was signed with the American Hospitality Washington LLC. Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at the amended petition from the original case. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's in the petition. Okay. Mr. Yerkins, I'm gonna give you information about what's happened so far in the case, cases. And then I'm gonna say, you may wish to contact an attorney because I cannot explain this any more than the limited information I can give you today. But I'm gonna give you an opportunity to do a little bit of you're gonna get a chance to maybe fix this thing. So Mr. Garlick, I'll give you some information too. All right, so let's take a historical look at what happened. Okay, and just so I'm clear, Mr. Garlick, is there any dispute that Oilfield Lodgings booked hotels at American Hospitality Washington?
No, we booked hotels there.
That part is, so that's correct. The two
Yes.
parties that should be to this case are American Hospitality and Oilfield Lodging.
In my opinion, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then the question would be, what is the amount of the possible damages? Does that fall within our jurisdiction or not? The way it was pled made it bigger the first time. All right, Mr. Yerkins, Ms. Chen, the two of you sound to me to be either co-owners or managing partners in an LLC known as American Hospitality Washington. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that company owns and operates at least one lodging establishment here in Travis County. And it's at that lodging establishment that—
No, it's not, excuse me, Your Honor, it's not in the Travis County, it's in Missouri.
Okay. Who's in Travis County?
We are.
Defendant. That makes sense. Okay. You're within subject matter. You're here properly with personal jurisdiction. You got a defendant. Okay. Mr. Yerkins, you and your company and Ms. Chen, the company you own, is suing in Texas Small Claims Court against the defendant. The first time you filed your lawsuit, you filed it in the name of your business, American, and you sued at that time a company called Globio. And Mr. Garlick wrote immediately, and he said that that is not who actually rented the rooms. Who rented the rooms was a company called Oilfield Lodging. And in our first meeting together, I gave you time to go back and change who you sued so that you were no longer suing Globio. Instead, you were suing Oilfield Lodging. And you did that, Mr. Yerkins. When you filed it, though, back with this, you indicated, and I'm going to show you what you wrote, that this isn't a specific thing that didn't harm. It just prevented me from being able, from this type of court, from hearing your case. Okay. Here's what you filed. You asked to change the defendant to Oilfield Lodging. And then very specifically, you said right in here, oh, that's the wrong one. I want to highlight it here. Right here, that plus fees, it's going to be more than $20,000. And it's that portion of saying I'm owed more than $20,000 that puts you outside of our jurisdictional limit. That's the reason the case was dismissed. Not because you may not have a claim. I don't know whether or not you have a valid claim. I didn't even have to, we weren't allowed to look at the underlying facts because the first question is, am I even allowed to hear it? And when you say that you have more than $20,000 of damages, the law says I'm not the judge who gets to hear it. So that case was dismissed because I could not hear it. That is not a dismissal because you lost because of the facts. It's just saying that I can't hear it, right? And what you did is you then filed a new lawsuit in this court, but this time you filed it in your name as Vladimir Yerkins, and you filed it against what sounds to be the correct name of the defendant, Oilfield Lodging.
Right.
Except this time you sued them as a person, and this is kind of the reverse of what happened last time. What Mr. Garlick is correctly saying is that at no point did Oilfield Lodging ever enter into a contract for hospitality with you, Mr. Yerkins. They entered into a contract with your company, American Hospitality Washington.
Yeah, I just, maybe I didn't pay attention to that. I came to your court in person, and then I showed them the documents from the last hearing, and I told them, okay, I just need to change the defendant's name, but I didn't pay attention to that they changed my name as well.
All right, well, Mr. Yerkins, with that, so here's the situation. Right now, the objection from Mr. Garlick on behalf of a defendant, Oilfield Lodging, who is the correct defendant or the correct party to the original contract that's giving rise to this dispute, right? So that is who, if you had a lawsuit and you wanted to maintain it, it would be against Oilfield Lodging. Mr. Garlick has made that clear. Mr. Yerkins, because you are pro se, and you've been very diligent and you're trying to pursue your claim, and court recognizes that, I can allow you 30 days to talk to an attorney about how to properly pursue your case. And if there's any motions that need to be filed with the court, you would have 30 days to make those motions filed with us. I'm not going to tell you what you might want to look into or what to file. I think that's going to get into coaching. But I do want to give you 30 days to talk to a lawyer, and you can contact the Travis County Law Library. That's a free resource.
Yeah, excuse me, Your Honor. Yeah, I saw this library. There are no like business lawyers there whatsoever. There, most of them, they're like Dewey or like criminal charges or whatever. I tried to look for the lawyer who is familiar with those matters. It's really hard to find.
You may also then try the Texas Lawyer Referral Service. They charge a small fee for that, but if you have a small business question, that may be a faster way to get you a referral. Texas Lawyer Referral.
Can you repeat one more time, please? Texas Referral Service?
It's the Lawyer Referral Service of Central Texas. And it is, I can give you the phone number, sir. I'm not endorsing, I'm just saying that this is a group that for the type of question you have, they might be able to refer you to attorneys. And their phone number, sir, is 512. Well, I'll give you the 800 number, sir. It's 866 303 8303. I'll actually share my screen. Okay. Lawyer Referral Service of Central Texas. This is a private website. They're going to give you a private attorney. But I've had people who use that. I'll just say that. So what I can do is, because Mr. Garlick, your claim is, your motion is well founded, right? It is. There's no standing here.
Right.
Mr. Yerkins, though, is pro se and he's learning his work through this. So, Mr. Yerkins, what I can do is I would do 30 days for plaintiff to research. And make any motions if you want. You don't have to do anything, but after 30 days, I'm going to rule on the motion. And quite likely at this stage, it's going to be granted by the defendant because you as an individual do not have a contract with Oilfield Lodging. But what is clear is that Oilfield Lodging has a contract with American Hospitality Washington, and that may very well be the contract we end up coming back to talk about.
All right. So like, should we file a new case, or I couldn't understand?
I can't answer that, Mr. Yerkins. This is the best thing I can tell you. Call a lawyer. Let the lawyer know about these two cases and that today the judge gave you 30 days to research your petition before I rule on defendant's motion to dismiss for lack of standing.
Even if you dismiss, we can still file a new case, just correct with the correct name of our establishment and defendant.
Yes,
right?
that would be correct because the dismissal would be without prejudice. Assuming you're within your statute of limitations and all the other legal corrections are correct. There's nothing that prevents you from doing it again. That is correct. Okay.
Okay.
right.
Everything is clear, and thank you for explanation.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Garlick. Thank you for your patience as well. For everyone, this is the
Thank
kind
you,
of
Your
thing
Honor.
we're trying to get y'all in the right spot. LLCs are a fun difficulty there. All right.
All right.
All parties
Have a
are
great
excused.
day.
We'll issue our ruling in 30 days. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Stephanie, thank you.